What's up, you guys? Today's video is in support of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and the story that I'm highlighting was part of the strip search phone call scam, which was a series of incidents that happened in urban areas in the United States. They started in 1992 and happened for a total of 12 years. A man pretending to be a police officer would make calls to restaurants and grocery stores, and he would make the managers strip search their female employees, and in one case, he actually convinced them to strip search a customer. There were over 70 incidents reported in 30 U.S. states. A call was placed on April 9, 2004, to a McDonald's in Mount Washington, Kentucky. According to the manager at the time, Donna Summers, the caller identified himself as Police Officer Scott. The caller gave Donna an unclear description of a young woman with blonde hair who had supposedly stole something from a customer. With the description, Donna assumed he was talking about her employee, Louise Ogborn, who was working that day. The caller commanded that Louise be searched at the restaurant because no officers were available to come to the restaurant and search her. This should have been a big red flag for Donna, but she listened to the caller and she complied and brought Louise into the office and told her to take her clothes off. Donna then put the clothes in a bag and took them to her car, as instructed by the caller. Louise then put on an apron to partially cover herself. At this point, I'm sure Louise was scared and very uncomfortable and confused about what was going on. The caller then told Donna to bring in someone she trusted to assist her with the investigation. She asked one of the restaurant's cooks, Jason Bradley, to watch Louise. But when the caller ordered him to take Louise's apron off and describe her, he refused. I believe at this point Jason knew something wasn't right about what was going on, but unfortunately, he didn't call the police. After this, you would think a light bulb would have come on for Donna, but it didn't. So she called her fiance, Walter Nix Jr. When Walter arrived, he took over the investigation. After he was told that a police officer was on the phone, he could be seen on the camera obeying the caller's instructions for 2 whole hours. He actually removed Louise's apron and ordered her to dance and do jumping jacks while she was naked. You would think that when the caller told Walter to make her dance and do jumping jacks, he would not have gone any further, but he did. Walter then made Louise put her fingers in her private area and show it to him as part of the so-called search. Walter also told Louise to sit on his lap and kiss him, and when she refused, he hit her until she promised to do it. The caller also spoke with Louise and told her that if she didn't do it, she would face worse punishment. And recalling the incident later, Louise said she was scared for her life. After Louise had been in the office for 2.5 hours, she was ordered to perform oral sex on Walter. Donna returned to the office periodically, and during these times, Louise was instructed by the caller to cover up with the apron. The caller then told Walter he could leave once Donna found someone to replace him. After Walter left, he called a friend and told him, "I have done something terribly bad." Donna then asked the restaurant's maintenance man who was there that day, Thomas Sims, and told him to go into the office and watch Louise. Thomas refused to go along with the caller's demands. It amazes me how the manager believed the caller and did everything he told her to do without questioning or calling her boss first to see if they spoke with the police. But when Thomas would not comply, that is when Donna became suspicious and decided to call her boss. While Donna was speaking with her boss, she discovered that they were asleep and never spoke with any police officer. She finally realized after the damage was done that the call was fake. The caller then hung up the phone. Donna became hysterical and started apologizing. They put Louise through this for 3.5 hours. The real police was finally called and they arrested Walter and charged him with sexual assault. He ended up getting a plea deal and serving only 5 years in prison for not only sexually assaulting Louise, but also for beating her. Donna was fired from the restaurant and arrested for violating the company's policy. She was sentenced to 1 year of probation. She also eventually sued the restaurant and won. Louise also sued McDonald's for failing to protect her. She stated that the company knew about the scam calls but did not warn or train managers to deal with them. She won her lawsuit also. The entire incident was recorded by a surveillance camera in the office. And this was the last call the caller made, and he was eventually arrested. But unfortunately, he was found innocent of all the charges of this case. He was suspected of other calls, but was never charged with those calls either. And a movie was eventually made about this in 2012 called Compliance. And they did a really good job illustrating what took place.
This is Officer Daniels with the police department. I have a woman here saying one of your employees took money out of her purse. You have a young lady who works at the register, blonde.
Becky, come with me.
I swear, I didn't take anything. I'm just trying to do my job.
Calm down for me, okay? You don't realize what kind of trouble you're in. We need to find the money, but we really have two choices here.
He's saying that he will have to take you to jail.
What we could do is have you strip search her right now.
No. No.
Is this okay to be doing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You're making a really difficult situation run very smoothly.
I'm just trying to do my job.
I didn't do anything.
I'm gonna need you to address me as sir, understand?
Yeah.
Listen to me.
Sir!
This behavior will not be tolerated.
What the hell is he doing back there?
Alright, so you see that clip of the movie. It is a really good movie, and if you're interested in watching it, I listed a link in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, be safe.